3:47 a.m., January 30th, 2026. Inside the White House residence, Donald Trump is awake. The lights are off. The room is silent. The only illumination comes from a phone screen, glowing in the dark. For nearly 20 minutes, he has been scrolling through text messages, not posting, not replying, just reading. And according to a source who saw him later that morning, his face looked like someone who had just watched his entire world collapse. Because one message changed everything. Lindsey Graham, the warm man who defended him through 2 impeachments, the senator who went on television hundreds of times to carry water for this president. 3 words. I am done, sir. In 8 years of political warfare, Donald Trump had never seen those words from Lindsey Graham. And it didn't stop there. Susan Collins sent a message. Lisa Murkowski sent one. Mitt Romney predictably sent one. But then came the message that actually scared him from Mitch McConnell. Brief, formal, final. Mr. President, we need to talk about your future in this party. Nobody in Washington slept that night because what just happened was not another round of Republican infighting. This was the breaking point. And what George Will is about to walk you through will not appear in any mainstream outlet for at least 48 hours. There are 3 leaked documents, 4 confirmed sources inside the Republican Senate conference, and a verbatim transcript of what Mitch McConnell said behind closed doors when he told his colleagues that defending Donald Trump was no longer politically viable. This information has a 6-hour shelf life before the spin machine buries it. This is inside the Union tonight. 2:17 a.m. The phone call. Susan Collins was asleep when her phone rang. 2:17 in the morning. Private number. She knew immediately who it was. You do not get calls at 2:17 a.m. from private numbers unless the caller believes the normal rules of human decency do not apply to them. She answered, Mr. President. What followed, according to a source who heard the recording, was 4 minutes and 37 seconds of pure rage. Trump did not say hello. He did not explain why he was calling. He just started yelling. You destroyed the Republican Party. I made you. I own you. And now you're going to pay. Collins didn't hang up. She let him talk. She let him burn through every ounce of fury he had stored up. And when he finally paused to take a breath, she said one sentence, Mr. President, I do not work for you. I work for the people of Maine. Then she hung up. She didn't go back to sleep. At 4 a.m., Susan Collins called Mitch McConnell. At 4:30, Lisa Murkowski called Mitch McConnell. By 5:15, McConnell had received calls from 6 senators. Every one of them had been contacted by Trump overnight. Same tone, same threats, same assumption that fear would bring obedience. And that's when McConnell realized something Trump didn't. When you threaten one senator in private, you create fear. When you threaten 12 senators on the same night, you create a coalition. Trump thought intimidation would scatter them. Instead, he gave them permission to unite. 7:43 a.m. The meeting at 6 a.m., John Barrasso received a text. My office, 7:43 non-negotiable. Mitch McConnell does not summon people at 7:43 a.m. unless the building is on fire. And that morning, the building was the entire Republican Party. Barrasso arrived on time. John Thune was already there. So was John Cornyn. The door closed. McConnell didn't say good morning. He didn't offer coffee. He opened his laptop, turned it toward them, and pressed play. Donald Trump's voice filled the room. I don't need the Senate. These people work for me. They do what I tell them, or they're gone. The recording came from a private donor call 2 days earlier. Someone recorded it. Someone sent it to McConnell. No one spoke for 23 seconds. Then McConnell asked the only question that mattered. Gentlemen, are we employees or are we senators? John Barrasso understood the stakes immediately. Internal polling in Wyoming, a state Trump won by 43 points, now showed Trump as a net negative. Donors were pulling back. Voters were exhausted, and Barrasso faced a primary challenger with $4.2 million already raised. Stay loyal to Trump and probably lose. Break with Trump and maybe survive. 30 seconds passed. Then Barrasso said 4 words that changed everything. What's the plan? The plan. McConnell pulled out a 3-page document. The header read Strategic Response Framework. This was not reactive. This had been sitting in his desk drawer for 2 weeks. Stage 1, the letter already completed. 12 Republican senators signed a joint statement opposing Trump's emergency powers demand and his threats against NATO allies. Precise, constitutional, devastating. We can no longer, in good conscience, enable conduct that threatens constitutional order and undermines the institutional prerogatives of the United States Senate. 12 signatures released simultaneously. Message received. Stage 2, the money. If Trump launches primary challenges, Senate Leadership Fund commits $50 million to defend incumbents. The NRSC refuses funding to Trump-backed challengers. Corporate donors already mobilize. Trump can threaten, but he cannot personally finance 12 simultaneous primaries. The math does not work. Stage 3, the constitutional weapon probability of activation 30%. A formal Senate resolution limiting executive emergency powers. Bipartisan public unprecedented. A senator involved in drafting the plan put it this way: we war-gamed every scenario. If he wants a fight, we're ready. But this time, we're not backing down. The donors choose January 28th, 8 miles p.m. 15 major Republican donors joined a conference call. Combined net worth, $47 billion. Agenda item, Trump viability assessment. Translation: is he bad for business? 90 minutes later, the conclusion was unanimous. Continued association poses material risk to corporate reputation and shareholder value. At 9:30 p.m., 3 major donors issued a statement supporting constitutional governance and institutional stability. At 10:15, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce followed. At 11 TRO, the National Association of Manufacturers echoed it. Corporate America had made its choice, and Republican senators were watching Trump become financially radioactive in real time. In politics, money isn't influence. Money is survival. Lindsey Graham breaks 12:15 p.m. Trump called Lindsey Graham. He demanded loyalty. He demanded television appearances. He demanded war. Graham refused. I will not defend threatening NATO allies. I will not pretend this is normal. Trump exploded. Then he said the line that ended it. You're finished? Graham replied calmly, Mr. President, I wish you well, and hung up. 3 words, followed by text. I am done, sir. This wasn't courage. It was math. Graham's approval, 38%. Primary challenger, $4.2 million raised. Trump now a liability in South Carolina. Opposed Trump, 40% chance of survival. Defend him, 60% chance of losing. Brutal, clear, the unthinkable conversation. Now here's what isn't public. In the last 48 hours, 3 cabinet-level sources confirm the same thing. Quiet discussions about the 25th Amendment have begun. This is historic. Section 4 allows the Vice President and a majority of the Cabinet to remove presidential authority instantly. No hearings, no vote, the immediate transfer of power. Why now? Because of the overnight calls, because of threats against allies, because of talk of federalizing the National Guard to protect personal property. One cabinet member described it this way: a president who no longer distinguishes opposition from betrayal. Decisions driven by rage, not strategy. Invoking the 25th is nearly impossible. But once discussed, the pressure becomes irreversible. The next 72 hours, 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, Trump backs down. 25% silence on social media, emergency powers withdrawn quietly. Fox News shifts tone. Face saving surrender. Scenario 2, stalemate, 50%. Attacks continue. No primaries launched, no Senate escalation. Party paralysis. Watch for retirements. Scenario 3, civil war. 25% primary announced. Stage 3 activated. More defections. Alaska flips. South Carolina detonates. The party fractures. This is where things stand right now. 12 senators have broken publicly. Donors have withdrawn. McConnell's plan is live. The 25th Amendment is being discussed. The next 72 hours will decide whether Donald Trump controls the Republican Party or whether the party finally decides to control him. This is Inside the Union tonight. George will be watching every move. Stay alert. History is moving.